what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more.
Hello there, welcome to the Flushing Bloke podcast. I'm Siobhan. When pale turns to pink with a soft, unnerving ease, and all you've built around lies tumbling on the ground. Let's meet the plucky girl assistants. We've got the Brian.
Hello.
Hello, the Brian, American.
Yeah, still. Refuses to use metric. Yeah.
Yes, we were discussing this. And we have the Floridian.
Hello.
Which is a separate
And
dimension.
Bonus cat.
Yep, a little bit the Wonder Girl. Hello, Rosie. The star of the show, to be honest.
Absolutely the star of the show, yes.
Oh, yeah.
She's upset that you didn't introduce Rosie first.
I didn't actually know she was there. My portable hole is on its way.
Yes.
He's ready. He's found out that I'm here and I'm talking, so I should imagine I'll be there. Anyway, yes, how have things been, folks? Are they all good, right? Yeah, are you having fun out there? Is it nice? Is it sunny? Is it... I mean, we
don't have any bots.
Yeah, no, I know.
Look,
if the bots abandon us, what the... That's Retta. Retta's not a bot,
oh my
is she?
God, it's an actual person.
I want proof.
Kinda, sorta.
Anyway, so, Brian, how's your week been? A fortnight. I do apologise. It's fortnightly now, isn't it? So, yeah.
Yeah, lots of work. Lots of running around. Very tired.
Yes.
Would like to sleep for like a week.
That's all right. We'll be doing some reviewing. You won't have to take part.
Oh, good.
It's all right. Isn't that lovely?
You can have a little nap mid-show. We'll wake you up
This is
later.
why I do that now.
Plus ça change, plus ça la même chose. Oh, dear. And you a little bit. How's your fun, I mean?
Well, I am officially done with school for the year. I'm being attacked by the small furry creature from Mount
Did you
Centauri.
pass?
I did.
Oh, well done.
I get to do it again next year.
Ah,
That's what happened.
good. Always
Good.
wanted.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yes. They've altered my grade levels tentatively for next year. So I will have some
They
seniors.
dare mix you up. They dare do that to you.
Yes.
How dare
They're sharing the love of the
So sweet.
state-tested year is what they're doing. So I will have some 10th graders as well. So that I haven't had those in a few years.
How old are
You're
10th graders?
I'm sorry.
It's the it's like 16-year-olds, 15, 16.
That's O level.
And
So they should be fairly serious because it's exam time.
It is
Spoken
their
like
exam
someone
year.
who doesn't spend time with teenagers.
Yes, it is their exam
I
year.
used to be one.
However, they have 2 additional years to pass if they don't pass that year.
You have a strange system.
They can retake it until they pass it, and they make them retake. It isn't like, well, they have to pass the test to graduate high school. So they give them early and then have them retake it, which means there's a lot of test prep going to happen, but not until August. So
Fair enough. Live until then.
Exactly. I'm finally. I think I finally have the bandwidth and the brain space and the energy to start tackling like Dave's stored stuff. Yes. And just things like it's been in a box for 2 years since we moved to this place and it hasn't moved from the closet. What do I actually want to do with it? Or all of my sweaters, which is not related to Dave stuff, but all my sweaters were piled because I haven't worn them since like the one time I went to Connecticut in April, and before then, like March, were piled on top of my closet on the shelf, and every time I went to pull something else down, they avalanched on my head.
Video or it didn't happen. Talking about which, right, another thing, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry about this, but Discord is still fucking up, which means that I have got to restart Discord.
Your favoriteest thing.
I will be back in a moment. I've got them on my end. You're not live, all right? So here we go. Oh, dear people, I tell you, this just keeps happening and happening and happening. And quite frankly, I'm sick to death of it. Graphics card drivers? No, it's not that. Discord drivers? No, it's not that. I mean, seriously, folks, it's just... Here we go. We're coming back. We're coming back. We're coming back. I'm trying to get this quite quick, actually. As quick as I can. There we go.
Current one.
Right. Oh, you are kidding me. I was going to say, don't do it again. Right. There'll be a lot of this tonight.
Thank you for having that Discord ad there. It
comes up automatically.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Yeah. It's an extra thing to turn off. So, news.
Yes.
There is going to be a streamed event. I think it's I don't know if it's going to be 24 hours or anything, called Hoovians for Palestine. Currently, it's looking towards the end of August. It's to raise money for some sort of charity for the Palestinians. I don't think they've decided exactly which charity to go for yet, because there's been quite a few thrown into the mix and they've got to decide. They're also calling for a ceasefire in Gaza. Now, the Blade has always been political, so I will be there, down to Lubert and Brian if they wish to join me. I can't offer for you guys. Do you know what I mean? This is something, you know. Also, in a couple of weeks, hopefully, may have to be a bit longer, but we're getting a young guest on who I've been following on Twitter. She's been...
Don't you mean X?
No.
No.
Opal Fruits, Jif.
Listen, his new name gets to be respected when he starts to be a respectable person.
Oh, Jack, I don't know why all these people you look all these people you look up to, like Elon Musk and whatever, and then they open their mouths and you think, oh, fuck, they're morons.
I'm just going to say I'm 6'3". There are very few people I have to look up to.
No, I make them sit down so I can yell at them properly.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, she's doing Babylon 5 at the moment. First time watching it.
Cool.
It's brilliant. Because I know everything that... Well, so there are other people watching her stream. But, a Twitter thing. But she's just done War Without End, parts 1 and 2. And she's got a wonderful way of naming conventions throughout it. For example, Veer is her weird daughter.
Okay.
Which is fair. I'll go for that, quite frankly. So, yeah. I thought, what the hell? We'll invite her on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, sure.
And you should put a link, when you get around to doing notes, you should put a link to her thing.
When I get around to doing
the YouTube
When
notes
you upload it to YouTube, down in the description, you can put a link to her Twitter.
There's no point doing it at the moment. She's not on.
We're saying when she is on, you can do this stuff.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Yes. Does mean extra effort.
Oh, no.
Control-C, Control-P.
What was Control-V?
No, it's Control-C, Control-V. Control-V is paste.
That's right.
Control-C is...
You're right. You're right.
Oh,
I haven't had a home printer in forever and a half.
My brain didn't let me down. Oh, thank heavens. So that's two things coming up for the Blade. Sad news. We've lost young Chatterton.
Yes.
Yeah.
The actor William Russell, otherwise
young.
known as Russell Enoch, passed away a few days ago. He was trending on Twitter, all day in the UK. It was
and here too.
Remarkable, absolutely remarkable. The outpouring of love that man got. And like you say, Brian, he was 99. He had a good innings.
He's lived. He did things.
He's got a Guinness World Record.
There you go.
For the longest gap between performances in a TV show, from 1965 to 2023. 2020 Power of the Doctor, was that 2023 or 2022? I can't. 2022, wasn't it? Oh God, I can't keep track of them nowadays. But yeah, it's sad. I met him once, Dave and I. I don't know, Dave had wandered off to do something else at one of the conventions. I think it might have been the convention. Dave got a bit grumpy because we didn't get to interview Tennant. Because the people in front of us had been complete arseholes with him, and so they stopped doing interviews. We finally got an interview with David Tennant. Yeah.
Sounds about right.
But William Russell was a gentleman. He was lovely. He was such a sweetheart. He really was. It's I should miss him.
You know, your entire screen, Discord screen is
Yes.
showing, right?
Yes. It's an experiment.
Okay.
So that little quote and impersonation, I'm not going to bother redoing now. Brian spoke over it. What would be the point? It's typical. It's absolutely typical. It's like voice chat. Any voice chat for a game or something like that, it will go silent for about 10 minutes. And then suddenly 3 people will speak at once. It's weird how that keeps happening. It always keeps happening. Stop freezing still, Brian. You're getting me worried. Oh, dear. Right. So, yeah, sad. Frankly. All that's left is Carol Ann Ford.
Yes. That somebody put up, and I'm sure it was on Twitter, was a group shot of all of them in the TARDIS around the console and everybody else in black and white except her.
Bit cheesy.
It was sweet.
It's sweet.
Different people have different tastes, you know. But yeah, so there's that. What else? The Doctor Who finale, 2-part finale is coming along.
Yes.
We will be discussing the last 2 episodes, Doctor Who and Doctor Who and the Dot and Bubble and Doctor Who and the Rogue, in a few minutes. There will be spoilers. You have been warned. Spoilers! If you haven't seen them.
We got spoilers. We got lots and lots
That's the
of
spoilers
spoilers.
dance.
That's the spoilers dance, is it? Okay.
It is.
Spoilers.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's remarkably similar to almost all of my other dances, but
I'd
yes.
noticed, yes, but I mean, this is excellent. You don't have to put that
You
much
need
effort
to get
in.
whatever Ruby was wearing so that
Yes,
you could,
yes,
yeah.
the tap. I loved that. That was great.
That was fantastic.
So,
And did you notice that they were playing Poker Face during that fight?
Yes. Yep.
That was terrific.
Right. Which we will move on to. You see, this
Not
is...
fast enough.
Could we do the review without spoilers? Yes, we could.
We could.
We could.
We won't,
No.
but we could.
We could. Oh, you see, distracted now. What was I going to say?
Transitioning into the review.
Yes. You were about to start the review for
No,
the
we're
review.
not. No, we're not. No, we're not. We've got other things to talk about first.
Oh.
Ah,
Right.
okay.
Hang on. Retta, have you not seen it? The latest one? Because if that's the case, we can do a nice simple review on that. I'm more than happy to. Because I didn't think much of it. Anyway.
It's fine.
So,
Enjoyed it.
I did going out today.
You did. You don't often do going out.
No, I don't.
Amongst the people?
Is that what they're called?
Well, except when they're birds. Yes.
Okay. You've been reading too much Roald Dahl. So,
Flock of humans?
basically, we took Fireball Jr. in Ernie down to Arundel, which is a lovely place in the south of England. Huge castle, which they used as Windsor Castle for Silver Nemesis. There's the Doctor Who connection. But basically, I was looking for disabled walks that... And I've got to actually...
You could take Fireball on.
Yeah, and the trouble is, the thing I got was terrible. Absolutely terrible. We couldn't work out if we were on the right fucking thing. The data, I was having trouble with the data to try and get the right map up.
Well, the Cybermen have clearly set up something in the castle to prevent you from getting Wi-Fi.
No!
Did you notice
Jazz
an
kept
extra
coming
new
out.
Wi-Fi on your device?
We got 5G in the middle of nowhere, briefly. That surprised me.
Yeah. Dalek plot.
But we managed to do the right one. However, it was a little bit less accessible than I was anticipating. You see, Fireball Jr. is a small scooter. She has no suspension. She does not have inflatable pneumatic tyres. She just has solid wheels. And so I'm rolling along like that.
You really need to fix that. Give it an independent suspension, maybe some nice rims. Cow catcher on the front. I'm still saying you should get a cow catcher regardless.
I was seeing fake Keith from Staggering Stories tomorrow. She said, "Oh, that's right. Keith wanted to get me World War One flying hat and a white scarf with wire to hold it out the back." And I said, "I will wear that. I will wear that."
We need pictures of this.
Yeah. So, yeah, I jolted and jittered. I was more worried for shaking something loose on the scooter than me, you know. And also, there's a couple of times I nearly got tipped into the lake because the camber suddenly went like that. Not impressed, quite frankly. If that's supposed to be disabled access, I suppose people with wheelchairs would be okay. But yeah, it was an experiment. It's the first time we'd done it. Until you get tipped into the lake. Quite. It's the first time we'd done it, and it worked. And then we went to get ice cream. 2 Mr. Whippies for the less educated amongst us, a.k.a. American. That'll get Retta growling. Mr. Whippy is the soft ice cream that you swirl up, rather than rather than the one you scoop. Yeah?
Yeah. Soft serve ice cream. Yeah.
There you go.
They come out of a machine usually.
Yeah.
Now,
you get the.
they're called the 99, and you put a 99 flake because you get Cadbury's chocolate flake in it as well. Used to be 99 pence. That's why they were called 99s back in the 70s. So we went to this place. Now, it was a tourist place. There was a little cafe by a little boating pond. I had a large 99. Adam had a tub of it because he can't, gluten intolerant, so no cornetto thingy, no cornet.
No ice cream cone, yeah.
Yeah. Came to over £12.
Waffle cone or regular cone?
It was
A waffle cone. Yeah, they're not usually sugar cones.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There's different kinds of cones.
I don't need to know.
Waffle ones are better.
I only have a certain amount of
ones
space.
are always better.
I only have a certain amount of space left up in my brain. I do not need this.
You need to learn about ice cream.
No. But it came to over £12. That was over £6 per ice cream. Mm-hmm. Extortionate. Absolutely. I mean, we didn't check the price beforehand because the price, oddly, wasn't up anywhere. Adam says, "Oh, I'll get this." I went, "You sure?" He says, "Yeah, you paid for the car charging." All right, then, fair enough. Over £12. And I just went, disgusting. Quite frankly, disgusting. I blame Madge Arwell.
It is not Madge's fault.
I think we need to have Harriet Jones take over.
Sorry, a little bit. Would you care to repeat that?
It is not Madge's fault. I quite like Madge.
Right, I don't know how to put this, but you've just managed to book yourself a all expenses paid trip to Dr. Sinister's volcano.
Well, you know what? I can have words with a volcano.
I think she's lost it, Brian.
Well, no one's tried it, have they?
I don't
No
know.
one's tried having words with
I
it.
don't know. Sinister might have done.
No.
Now, has
No,
the
Madge-
volcano god actually called out and said anything
But
lately?
it's not a volcano god. It's just where he's got his base in a dead volcano.
Then why is it a threat if it's a dead volcano?
Because I know
if it
what
was an active volcano, it would be a threat, and you could push people into it.
Because I know what goes on in that crater. And deep beneath
if
it.
it's not an active volcano, it's not a threat.
I don't
Think
particularly
Bond
care.
Blair. Think Live and Let Die. That sort of place. Everything
Is it anything like
Jarlath's fault.
Striga Island?
Yeah, it could be. And yes, I did get the reference.
Good.
Thank you. Elizabeth, you're wrong. Okay,
I'm-
just leave
She's
it there.
quite brave. She's quite courageous.
It's
she's
her.
quite
Everything is her fault. This
I'm
is
just
the
letting
official.
this
This
letting
is
this
the
happen.
official view of the Flashing Blade podcast.
Well, y'all are wrong. Enjoy being wrong over
Right.
there.
Okay. Hang on a second. Are you going to resign from the front bench over this? Because I've still got to go on about the politics this week. I got some corkers for you. I got corkers. Do you remember me telling you about how they kicked off the election and the guy was soaking wet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then they went somewhere else, and the two people that were picked out to ask questions for him, and you've frozen. Oh, for God's sake, here we go again. Oh, I'm so sorry. I really
The
am
two people
so
turned out to be plants, didn't they?
Yeah, they were local councillors. Back in a second.
Wait, they were cacti people?
Yes. Back in a sec. I'm sick to death of this. If anybody out there knows what I can do to stop this happening, to stop Discord crashing like this, I'd be very, very grateful. That's Thaco Gaming. That's something else we're going to be looking at.
Two service interruptions.
Yeah, all right. There'll be more. Okay. Politics, yes. Oh, no, that's wrong. Hang on, that's the wrong one. That's the right one. Okay, good.
I've broken out the snacks for you, telling
think
us
you
to
need
need these
this.
politicians.
Especially for your downtime.
So basically,
I got the trail mix going.
For the first 2 weeks, the Conservatives had a pretty shitty time of it. To the point where we're sitting there scratching our heads going, are they deliberately trying to lose? Never seen anything as bad as this before. And there have been bad election campaigns, but nothing like this. Whereupon the Tories turned round to me, held out our hand and said, hold our champagne. This week was the 80th anniversary of the D-Day landings on June
Yes.
6th. An awful lot of world leaders went there. Well, I say an awful lot. French, the German, and the British.
All the
and
Allies.
American. Yeah, the Allies got there. But the Germans came as well, because obviously we're friends now, thank God. And lots of commemorations and whatever. And very possibly it's a good time, but it's unlikely that for the next anniversary there'll be any soldiers left, anyone left to take over there. It will be a case of remembering them rather than.
And
So,
all
Prague-
you have to do, as a politician, all you have to do at a ceremony like that is show up, be respectful, dress well, say a few respectful words, and stand in the background being quiet.
He left halfway
That's
through.
kind of it. It's not that hard.
He left halfway through.
Well, that's what you get for
To go
being
and
an asshole.
pre-record an interview for television before the election. Pre-record could have been postponed, but no.
I didn't
One
have
of the
some
Never
really
Nevers.
good speeches during this.
One of the Never Nevers in Britain, apart from you do not touch our NHS, which they do anyway, but one of our Never Nevers is you don't piss around with the veterans.
No.
You don't. And he did. Fucking huge insult to them. Everyone is furious. The problem with this is the Reform Party, which is the swivel-eyed right-wing loonies, the Nigel Farages, no, let me finish, they're picking up all the Conservative votes. They could end up in opposition. They're not even a political party. They're a limited company. So they can make money off it.
That's ridiculous.
But then the Tories doubled down again. One of their MPs turned around and said, I think for the MP he was supposed to be fighting for a constituent seat, turned around and said, well, the Labour MP, I wonder if he's still in France. Whereupon everybody turned back round and said, yeah, he was in France because he was a paratrooper, and they did a commemorative airdrop for the D-Day landings. That's why he was in France. And it's a case of, is there any other way we can fuck up today, people? It's just the ineptitude. The Lib Dems having a way. Stunt after stunt after stunt after stunt. They're having a whale of a time. They know they're not going to get in, so they're enjoying themselves. It's great fun. Tories are, oh God, okay. Sorry, not Tories, Labour are, okay, don't move. Don't say anything. Don't breathe.
Stand very
still. We might win.
Don't do anything stupid. In fact, don't do anything.
I have to admit.
Yeah.
If you think of doing something, stop.
Yeah. Just no. There's been some interesting stuff there. But I'm going to be staying up to watch this one, I think. I normally start till about 2 o'clock when I've got a rough idea. And then wake up the following morning to be really depressed. But what's really annoying is most of the Tory top knobs have said they're not going to stand again, so they don't have to go through the whole rigmarole of being in front of everybody and losing the vote. They're ducking out early, basically, which if I'm honest with you, ruins our pleasure. Mm-hmm. You know, it's. Yes. We wanted to see Gove lose. We wanted to see Badenoch lose, you know. Count Binface is going up against Rishi Sunak, the Prime Minister. He did quite well in the mayoral election. Oddly enough, Count Binface, I think you could possibly call the colour of my new car, which comes in 3 weeks. Woo! New Hyundai Ioniq 5. My car at the moment, my little Ernie, she's passed her MOT. Flying colours, not a single note on it.
Excellent.
Yes, which is good. And then, like I say, in 3 weeks' time, I hand her back. Ridiculous. Right. Now then. Hooverville. That's coming up.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's coming up soon, isn't it?
It's beginning of September, yeah.
Walnut.
So, I'll give you a few of the guests. We've got Daisy Ashcroft and Ashcroft. Look, we've got Sarah and Liz. I can never remember their names because I'm reading my. See what I mean? No space up there. Matthew Waterhouse will be there. Katie Manning's going to be there. Philip Hinchcliffe, the producer's going to be there. Carol Ann Ford is going to be there. It's a good lineup this year. And it's the nicest one-day convention you can go to. So it's in Derby at the Quad. And basically look for Hooverville 15. I think, God, 15 of them. Jesus. There's only 2 I haven't been to. Still, nice day out. Mm-hmm. It'd be the first long drive for the new car, so what the hell? With luck, I'll have somebody with me so I can scare the life out of them by not being used to it. But it should be all right. The controls are essentially the same as my car I've got at the moment.
Yeah, because you drive it for a bit, didn't you, basically?
Sorry, do you want to say that again? You cut out a little.
Oh. Well, you got to test drive the one that you're going to have, didn't you?
Sort of. I did a test drive in the Ioniq 5 and the Ioniq 6, but they were so short. They didn't...
I thought that recently your other one was in the shop, and so you had this new one.
Yes. Yeah, but that wasn't a test drive. That was just a loaner.
What I kind of meant was
Well,
that you got used to the
I know, but I also had test drives. You see, that's where I was getting confused. You see.
I see.
So yeah, Monday or Tuesday when the car was in for the MOT, I got given an Ioniq 5 to drive around in. Unfortunately, it was the top spec. Now mine isn't top spec; it's base spec, and I wanted that to see what that was going to be like, rather than
the fancy bells and whistles.
Yeah. But the thing is, I'm hardly losing any functionality at all. Switching to the base spec from my top spec. Different car, you know. I think I'm losing
All it is a software update.
Ventilated seats, I haven't got. That could be it. Just the ventilated seats. And charging is ludicrously quick. So, I mean, what's it, 10 to 80% in 20 minutes?
Oh, wow. Okay.
If you can get the right charger. It's all down to the charger itself rather than the car. The car's capable of it. It's just whatever's around and about. So, yes, I'm grieving for losing my old car, but at the same time, I'm excited for the new one.
That's normal.
What color is the new one?
Count Binface Grey. Galactic Grey, basically.
Galactic Grey.
That's what they call it, Galactic Grey. In other words, I should imagine they've been to Interminer. That's why everything on the car is grey. Just grey.
Okay.
Just a dull, dark, glossy grey.
Now, will you be transferring the weapon system over to it?
No, I can't, unfortunately. I've got no aiming reticule.
Okay, all right. So you're going to have to get a whole new weapon loadout.
Yeah, I need to work that out on that way. As I've told you before, I've already bought a couple of the things that I need for it. But no, the heads. I'm not going to have the heads-up display.
Okay.
Which Sinister loves. The very first time I sort of turned the car on.
Sinister is moving up to the goggles.
And he went, oh, what's that? I want one. Oh,
and Sinister has been taking photographs of castles lately.
Guess what, boys and girls? No, go on, guess.
What have you been up to?
That's not what I've been up to.
What did you do?
No, try again. Guess what?
Chicken butt.
Okay,
what
wasn't
did
expecting you to say.
GCHQ do this time?
I'm starting to think it is GCHQ.
For those playing along at home, this is the third interruption.
Yeah, there'll be plenty more.
I know I have a thing in chat. Guess I'll maybe have tonight.
I can see. I can see all in chat. I just can't actually do anything.
This is great.
There we go. Right, let's put that back up now. Where are we? Streamlabs. Yeah, no, I can see chat. I just can't actually do anything on it, which is a bit annoying. Yeah. So I don't know. Let's do what we came here for. What's that? Oh, right.
What was that again?
I don't know. Hang on a second. Let me find out. Where are we? The closing titles.
I really need to get this stuff away from me. I can't stop eating
it. It amuses me.
Is it the trail mix?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it called a trail mix?
Because you eat it on the trail.
While hiking.
Because it's a mixture of nuts and chocolate and
so proteins.
Usually dried fruit, so it gives you energy and.
It's things to keep you going.
Have a banana.
No.
No, they don't. You don't want to travel with banana. They get all squishy.
What?
And hard.
Yeah, they get squishy.
What? No, nonsense. Nonsense. I will not have it. You take a fresh banana out every day and you eat it.
No, they get all squishy and horrible when you're camping.
Yeah, but
I
you're
don't, I don't
very
need the
careful
phallic
with them.
symbiology.
The thing with trail mix is you can put it in like a plastic bag and put it in your pocket
And
and
it lasts
snack
for
on it.
freaking ever.
Yeah.
It also sounds disgusting.
No,
it's very
this
nice.
stuff is actually quite good.
It's like
Dried
pocket-sized
cranberries,
muesli.
almonds,
Yeah,
dried cherries,
Yep. None of this I like.
walnuts,
Nope.
pistachios.
Nope, don't like nuts. Full stop. Do not like nuts.
No, then what you do
It's like
is
eating
you take
cardboard.
out all the chocolate and all the dried fruit, and then you hand somebody else
I have
all the
another
nuts.
one up there. Would you like me to go get it?
No, it's all right. It's all right.
I can go get
No,
it.
I
It'll
wouldn't
be
put you
fine.
through. I wouldn't put you through all the
Got
hassle.
dried cherries and chocolate.
No. I'll have a banana.
I don't have any
Bananas are
bananas.
fine in their place, but
I know what she would approve of. I have in my cupboard right now
Yes.
something very rare,
Yes.
something very valuable.
Oh my giddy aunt, what
I
is
have
it?
a box.
Is it the smuggler's part 4?
Rice Krispie treats.
oh, those are good.
Right, so they're not the bars of Rice Krispies, but the little nuggets of Rice Krispies.
No,
Nuggets
no.
or bars?
They're bars.
Oh, we get
They're-
them,
they're-
and they also have marshmallow in them.
Yes, that's what holds them all together.
Yeah, you can feel
You
the
know how
chemicals.
many snacks I could have gotten if I traded them in school,
Ha!
lunch, even into high school. People will
Oh, yeah.
trade for it. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Amazing.
Especially
Absolutely
if they're
amazing.
homemade, because they're way better homemade.
homemade is fantastic, but who has time for that?
Trouble is,
Well,
when you do
Cleaning
the
up the kitchen afterwards, that's the problem.
Yeah,
chocolate cornflakes, unfortunately, they tend to hurt a little bit when you bite into them because they're actually quite sharp. So Rice Krispies is the more civilized option,
Yes.
I think.
yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Right then. And now, from the worlds of BBC Television's Doctor Who, it's Doctor Who! Spoilers. There's going to be spoilers. More spoilers. If I can be asked. Spoilers!
Lots of spoilers. You
Yeah.
have been warned.
Right then. I think that's fair, don't you? That's a good enough warning, surely. Didn't even
think
include
Do you
any
really
dancing.
think
Didn't
anybody is
include any
truly
dancing.
listening at this point?
No, actually, I think Retta's buggered off. The bots are back! Retta's buggered
bots
off.
are back?
but- yeah, the bots are back. Got more than normal.
Oh, that does my heart good.
Zombie Wolf 9000. Oh, I miss you. Drapsnat. Oh, dear. Mock Zink. Oh, man. These are such old and familiar names. I wonder if
They've been with us a long time.
They have. It's
They have.
very fucking weird.
They're our longest watchers.
I do not understand the point of them. Because they do not get added to your viewing figures. Whether it's the stats at the end or immediate figures now. They don't do anything. They just sit there.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
Right, okay. Some people
Yeah.
just want to watch the world burn. Fair enough.
Some
Okay.
people just want to add the clicks.
The clicks.
Clicks. The likes.
Yeah, but they don't do anything. They just sit there.
I'm just saying, some people think they do.
I mean, if they could be bothered to like things and donate, because there is a donate button on the page. Why am I saying that? There's nobody in chat, apart from the bots. Anyway. Yeah. Oh, I've got to go to hospital again. My eyes. Both of them are now fucked.
Oh.
Now, are they removing them or just, leaving them in, cleaning
I
them up?
imagine they'll look
putting
at
them
them and then give me a prescription for 2 bottles of the steroid drops rather than just the one.
One for the left and one for the right.
No, just to try and last me a bit longer. They haven't done any good so far, so I'm going to have to say, look, it's not doing any good. And I can feel the pain, even though I'm numbing it, It's starting to spread now around the face and...
Oh.
You mean they're going to have to remove your face?
And you're complaining?
I want to see the results.
But so this opens up a whole new Flashing Blade competition. What face should I have?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Answers in the comments, please. The winner gets a lolly.
Don't encourage bots to take off your face.
How did we get to that?
Well, you just told them put it in the comments.
Well, yes, but they don't have to do it. It's just...
But the only ones in the comments are bots.
Except they're not even in the comments. How can we have a negative show?
Entirely the wrong idea.
It's a negative show. We have negative viewing figures. Technically. That's... Oh, I'm confused.
It's talent.
You're confused.
I'm confused.
But
Imagine the poor bots.
viewing figures and bots are, in fact, an excellent lead-in to Dot and Bubble.
This is true.
Nice try. Anyway, yeah, so... Doctor Who and the Dot and Bubble. Great.
Bubble, bubble, toil, and trouble.
Okay, so we're on
I
this
wish
colony.
it was that cool.
Shut up! We're in this colony world, and all the people there, and they're young, and attractive, and good-looking, which I think means the same thing. The dot is a little sphere with antigravs and everything that comes up to your face, and then when you say bubble, a bubble around you comes up. I don't know why I'm telling you all this, because I'm sure you've all watched it. With all the faces of your various people you talk to. And you stay in that all the time. Completely in your bubble. It even tells you when to walk left, when to walk right, so you don't actually have to look at anything. Which... slight carping criticism there, and I approve. However, something's going on. People are vanishing. I know.
No.
I know. So, suddenly, this young lady, who's called Lindy Pepperbean, which is a great name, but I wonder if... Oh, it's frozen again. Stop laughing, Brian!
I'm okay. I'm fine. This is great. This is fine.
No, it's
We're
not.
fine here. How are you?
No. Why does this keep happening to me? Why? What the hell's gone wrong? Why does it keep doing this? Are those my feet? Right, let's try this again, shall we? Just had a thought. Oh no, it was Peppenheim, wasn't it?
For those playing along, this has been the 4th interruption.
Yeah, man. I am terribly sorry, but there's nothing I can do about it. I'm out of ideas. Graphics drivers are updated. Discord itself is updated. Something somewhere is happening. I've just no idea what. So, where was I? The doctor suddenly appears in a little bubble, in a little box, and warns her that people are, something strange is going on. She's in danger. She looks moderately disgusted and gets rid of him. Obviously, we initially think, oh, bots. She probably thinks he's a bot.
Well, also it comes up as basically unsolicited.
Yes, yeah, unsolicited request.
Somebody came out of nowhere.
He's not on her friends list.
So their job is basically 2 hours a day, 2 long hours a day, to... I think they're influencers.
Mm-hmm.
I think, but they all influence to each other.
Yes.
It's like
Yes, but that's not their job. Their job is some form of assisting data processing kind
We
of
never
thing.
actually saw anything of it, though.
No, but that's what she says.
Mm.
That's what their job is. But yes, their lifestyle is influencing each other.
Yeah. So.
And presumably the people back at home too.
Yeah, about that. It's so sad. As we later find out, Homeworld, unfortunately, there's no one alive on Homeworld anymore.
To be fair, if I was on Homeworld, I would send them to this planet and then cut off.
Well, a
all
lot of people
communication
did
as
say
well.
that this lot are essentially the Golga Fincham B-Arc.
Yeah.
The telephone sanitizers. That nearly broke me.
I mean, that when you get to the end and they're all going off and I mean, I know I'm jumping, but there is the element of she is a villain and why is she not punished? Except she is.
Oh yeah, they're dead.
She's going off this
dead.
useless group of people with no skills.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they are. They're the Golga Fincham B-Arc. Except they're worse than that.
Well, we'll come to this. We'll come to this.
I was thinking as far as skills are concerned, because some of those people did actually have skills.
Okay, go on.
Well, one of them.
Well, one of them could
didn't
walk.
buy into the whole setup.
No. Ricky September, we will come to. I haven't got there yet. Lilibet's going boing.
Yeah. No, it's fine. Let's go back to the beginning.
Thank you very much. Cheers. That's kind. Yeah. So next up, Ruby turns up on a thing, and Clever Ploy says she's from some sort of customer service and she needs Linda's help, which meant looking out of the bubble at the office around her.
Yeah, but Ruby is also young and attractive.
I'll get there. Patience. I will. I know. I try and build something up here, and they can't wait. They can't wait. They're like children.
Because everything's attached to everything else. You see.
And this is maybe a horrible episode. I don't know.
I also need to say to you, Brian, you are going to have a great deal of problems with our guest coming up, because she's about 2 seasons into the new Battlestar Galactica. She's halfway through Babylon 5. You are not allowed to drop any spoilers whatsoever. None.
I wasn't going to.
Yeah, but you're terrible like that.
Hey, I'll get it out now. Fracking angels, okay? Fracking angels. All I'm saying.
Okay now?
Shit, angels.
Are you okay now? Gently.
Bunch of bullshit.
Actually, Brian, would you like to make that 5 times this has happened?
I was watching something else and I was like, oh, I want popcorn. I will go to the cupboard. And then sadly, there was no popcorn. So the next time I was in the store, I deliberately bought some.
Alas, the dog.
5 golden interruptions.
Love that bit. Yeah, it's reached the point now where I've got to try and do something about it, but I haven't the faintest idea what. It may mean moving to a different communications thing. Because this can't keep going on, because it's the same with the RPG, and that throws your screen out.
Yeah, it's disruptive.
I am terribly sorry. I just don't know what to do. Brian, you're a computer guy. Fancy a little bit of extra work?
Reimage the computer.
I assume those words meant something?
Yep.
That you had some sense attached to them?
You asked the computer guy how to fix this.
Basically, wipe it and start over.
Yeah.
So, fresh install.
Yeah.
Of Windows.
Yep.
Don't have Windows. I've got it installed on the computer. I just don't have a disk.
Well, that's a problem.
I'd noticed that. Yes.
Yeah. That's a problem. Also, I would back up all your data on the computer.
Data.
Yeah, data.
Don't Pulaski me. Data.
Oh, I'll Pulaski.
Don't you Pulaski me? I like Dr. Pulaski. I did like Dr. Pulaski.
Nobody liked Dr. Pulaski.
I liked
That's
her.
why she only lasted a season.
Well, no, Gates McFadden came back.
Exactly.
But
Nobody
I liked her. She would give Picard shit. And it's just brilliant.
She was a giant pain in the butt.
Exactly. You need a character like that in the prim, proper world of
but not even
Starfleet.
the crew members liked her. She pissed off Data.
Which is
all
impressive.
right?
It's impressive. I'll give her that. Another list to add to her achievement. Another list to add to her achievements? What?
She should have just stayed with the Medusan.
Yes, she should, quite frankly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mind you, she might even have looked at the Medusan, which could explain her attitude.
I'm just saying, nobody liked her.
We've lost her. I just want you to know, we've lost her. She doesn't know what we're talking about now.
I know Pulaski.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the Medusan.
The actress was in the original Star Trek series, playing the guide or the helper of...
She was going to bond with something that if
anyone looked at it, they'd go mad.
They went insane.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Of course, Spock looked at it.
Of course.
Is there in truth... No beauty, something like that. I can't remember. They used to sometimes have quite lyrical Star Trek titles. I'll give them.
Oh, they're all high-minded titles. The whole thing of them.
Spock's brain.
Who watches the Watchers and
Spock's brain.
Yeah,
really.
Spock's brain is the exception.
Gotta say that Roddenberry had his head up his own ass a couple times there.
The trouble with tribbles. How is that a really highfalutin?
Because then they redo it as Trials and Tribulations.
They didn't know that then.
Of course they did.
Oh, they did.
Yes, of course.
Right. Okay. I think both of my plucky girl assistants this evening are revolting. Anyway.
Why do you think it keeps freezing?
No.
I keep hitting the button over here.
Ruby, rather than the Doctor, manages to get Lindy, that we're back on this, to leave the office. She realises her co-workers are being eaten by these giant slugs. Who you think, boo, hiss, naughty slugs.
Are we sure they're slugs and not just insects?
Yes, they're definitely slugs.
They're sluggy.
Okay, because they didn't really strike me as invertebrates.
They had an exoskeleton on the back, the shell.
And they had the tentacle. What were it, little tentacles or like crawler finger
Brian.
types? Yeah.
They're alien, Brian.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry. They're not real.
Worse, Siobhan. They're CGI.
Actually, my dear friend, most of them were practical with CGI sprinkles. They were actually practical effects.
That's Disney money right there.
Yes. So, Ruby managed to get her out and about. She's having trouble walking because, this one didn't quite make sense because walking is muscle memory. She couldn't walk anywhere without the arrow to tell her where to go, and she stumbled and everything. It's a case of, really? Don't quite, no.
She runs fairly convincingly.
At least she didn't try to chew bubblegum while doing that.
I mean, let's put it this way. She picked it up really quickly. Let's put it like that. Then she meets Ricky September, who's this hot boy. I don't know if he's from a boy band or is a young singer or something like that.
He's
Ricky
an
September.
influencer.
Yeah.
With everyone on the planet as
as
his
a
follower. And
But
this dude just has one single, Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow,
which is
Polka Dot.
actually by Timmy Mallet. And I'm not going to tell you about Timmy Mallet because you'll cry. Whack-a-day, fuck off. He's a good guy. I mean, for a start, he doesn't live inside the bubble. He does what he needs to do and then turns the bubble off and spends the rest of the day walking around the city, reading, doing this, that and the other. And he's a decent bloke. We loved Ricky September. I think that's fair to say. He was an excellent Doctor substitute.
Yes.
To be fair. Lindy, sorry. Lindy.
Lindy.
Yeah. every now and again she says something that could be taken the wrong way. But no, this is Doctor Who. You're not. No, she's just being, typically horrible. It's a case of, hang on, is it because of that, or is it just, I don't know. But then you stop to think.
A lot of it read as classist.
Yes. Very good.
A lot of her comments read very classist.
And I'm just thinking to myself, it could be one or the other. And the thing is, it's Russell T Davies.
And her whole going, oh, you're so stupid.
To herself.
No, to other people.
Oh, she did it to herself as well.
Yeah, but it's like...
But I mean, we've all seen people like this on our planet.
I would just like to say for now, for the record, I was rooting for the slugs.
We'll get there. We will get there. I'm trying to get through this.
Always
but I keep getting interrupted. Why do I employ you?
You don't.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't gotten a paycheck in years.
That's because the court order says this is rehabilitation for you. That is the most...
I have some words for that.
That is the most contemptuous noise you have ever made. Oh, dear. Yeah. Eventually, the Doctor realizes, and remember, they're not actually there, they're just popping up in a bubble. That actually, where did these slugs come from, and why are they eating people in alphabetical order?
Yes, I did like the discovery of the Doctor trying to go, okay, well, what connects you? Do you have mutual friends?
Mm-hmm.
Do you use the same shampoo?
Blood types, all that sort of stuff.
Types,
usual
because
things.
They're all influencing each other, it makes sense. And then the reveal of, oh, it's in alphabetical order. That was great.
Well, that was a rug pull. Because that changed everything. This is not a natural phenomenon. Somebody's controlling it. And it turns out...
Someone with access to a database.
And breeding tanks, I'm guessing. Because we find out that the little dots have become self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
And they've had to put up with this stream of crap for God knows how many years.
I am pro little dot.
And I think they went a little bit funny. I'm going to be honest with you. And decided to wipe out all the humans.
No.
By using slugs.
That has a basis in facts.
Oh, cool. Please,
in real life.
Yeah.
Some experiment a couple years ago put an AI on the internet.
Yes. Got taught some
it then
interesting
proceeded
things.
to kill itself after like 24, 48 hours of observing humanity on the internet.
They never watched this show, did they?
It's not wrong. They had an AI robot at some warehouse just doing, packaging things. And then it realized that this was all it could ever do. It committed suicide.
I'm guessing this is a bit of an urban myth.
No.
It's real.
I can get receipts if you want.
Yes, please. Seriously, I want to read up about this. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway. Lindy Pepperbean is a P, obviously. And the slugs have reached P, and indeed, she's the next P in the list. However, Ricky September, who is helping her to get down to this safe point the Doctor's told them about, his real name begins with a B rather than S. And she rats him out to the Dot, who is trying to kill her, and it kills him instead. The look on his face of just... And I was there going, the Doctor's not going to like you. I mean, you were iffy to start with, but fuck me, that was cold. She gets through, she gets to the safety, which is a little... just say James Bond to me afterwards. A little dock.
Underground tunnel system.
A little dock with a little boat and whatever, and it's where some of them managed to gather together. The Doctor's managed to save people. And first thing she lies about Ricky, Oh, he's gone back to save people.
Yes, well, and I wondered, because of the interaction with her and the doctor in that moment, because the doctor's weird in that moment.
To be fair, it's Shooty's first scenes.
Yes, but it's not the acting weird. It's not that he doesn't know what he's doing with the character. It's the interaction with him and Lindy. There's awkwardness there.
There is.
There's a weirdness, and at first I thought, oh, he knows she's lying. Somehow he knows she's lying, but he doesn't know. I mean, he doesn't know for a fact.
He can sense something is off.
Something is wrong.
Now, the first thing she does is when she sees Rose. God, no.
She's very like
Ruby
Rose.
and the doctor walking towards her. I'm going to go somewhere else. Don't want to see them. She meets up with some friends and whatever in real life. And the doctor says, because they're about to jump into a little boat and go off into the wilds beyond the walls, and they're going to die because they're useless. And the doctor basically says, come with me. I'll save you. I've got a ship. Look, there it is. I know it looks small, but don't worry. It's dimensionally transcendental. It's cool. I can save all of you. We'll take you to a little planet of your own. You'll be fine. You serious? We can't go with you. And then, if you hadn't picked up on it, it should be crystal clear by now. Because all the people in the colony are white. And this colony is racist as fuck. As such, they decide that they'll rather take their chances and die than get a lift off a black man. And there's this moment where the doctor's sort of... And then he clicks, because he's never been black before. And he suddenly clicks, and he can't believe it. It was such a strong moment in the series. So powerful. And that's the first thing they recorded with him? Jesus. And same with Millie as well. And as her reaction, Ruby had sussed it. And she's crying for him. And...
because she would have gone through this with her family. She knows what this looks like. He doesn't recognize the behavior, but she does, which is, I think she knew. She knew as soon as when she came in and started interacting with Lindy and saw Lindy's attitude toward the doctor, she knew what was going on.
Yeah. I will be honest with you, honesty time. I didn't suss. I didn't click until afterwards. I honestly thought it was, we can't be with you because you're not part of the company. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my white privilege showing. I did not recognise the racism when I saw it. It was too subtle, even though it slammed in the face. I still thought it was something else rather than that. And I hang my head in shame for that one. I should have realised, quite frankly.
I think it was more powerful, his breakdown. I'm begging them, please come with me.
Please let me save you.
Yeah.
I thought this one was going to be a lightweight. Oh, God, here we go. You know, it's all pastel colours and whatever. It's got a silly monster, but my God, it took a turn. It really took a turn.
I think that's why the turn works.
Oh, yeah, because it knocks you for 6. It's... yeah, it's Susan Twistwatch.
Mm-hmm.
She's Lindy's mum in this one.
Yes.
Yep.
Who is presumably eaten by...
well, yes, because the AI have got the slugs to eat the whole of Homeworld, as you do. However, if that's an example of what they produced, then no great loss.
Once again, proven correct. Pro slug.
Giant mutant star goat came and got them. That's a star goat, not a space goat.
The
Because a space
doctor's
goat
moment.
is as a goat in space. Do you see? Space goat.
I see.
Not star goat. Space goat. Goat in space. It's simple. Do you see?
Yes.
Just saying. You should never interrupt me when I'm talking about goats.
So, space
Not a sentence
goat.
I expect you to have ever realised, I'd say. You were going to say, go on, Lilibet.
Yes. Well, the doctor's moment when he realizes, oh my God, this is racism. That's what the problem is. And he's never been black before. And
I mean, he's seen what happened to Bill.
Yes.
And he punched that guy out.
He did.
He did.
But he's never showed up to rescue someone and had them react like that.
No. And
Nope.
quite frankly, it's a bonkers reaction no matter what.
It is.
Even if you are racist, get the fuck out of there and then sort it out.
Yeah.
It's that kind of just, he's never faced it before, and realizing that that's what's going on reminded me of, I think it was the witch episode with Jodie,
Go on.
where she's like
A woman.
trying to say, yes, like, this is what you, and then she realizes, oh, I'm not being believed or listened to because I'm a woman.
So Graham gets a really cool hat.
Yes.
He liked his Witchfinder's hat.
I think there's two things that both the show writers were exploring there, which is, what if you take essentially the same character and make them look different? You get different reactions because of the inherent prejudice of the people, and it makes us as the viewers go, oh yeah, maybe I should be listening to the message and not what it looks like. Who's it coming out of? Maybe I should examine some of my own prejudices, or making those more explicit.
It would be nice if that did work with people, but I get
Well,
the
I do
feeling
think it does work with people, but it has
have
to
a
be
tendency
repeated.
That's just it. I think people are so stuck in their ways. Something like that will probably annoy them, and that'll be it. They won't learn from it.
Well, good.
Well, no, not good. I mean, we want them to learn. We don't want them to be angry. We want them to learn.
Anger?
No, we want them gone.
Well, anger is the first reaction, and then you go, why am I angry? Oh, because I'm being challenged. Why do I feel challenged? Oh, because my prejudices are being addressed. Maybe I should re-examine those and do something about it. It's not a fast process, and it's not a comfortable process, but it is a possible process.
Are racists that smart?
No.
Yes, because racism is a learned behavior, and it can be unlearned.
That is fair. Even though racism does have a tendency to be ingrained deeply. Because
usually it's learned very young.
Exactly.
And then it forms a basis for all kinds of other learned
I've
behaviors.
seen it with some neighbours. The old man's horribly racist towards Muslims, and he's brought his kids up to believe the same. And one of them started ranting about Muslims, and his eyes went glassy, and we'd start talking about something else, and he's just keeping going. All the shit he's coming out with. We're trying to talk about something else. He's not there with us. He's somewhere else.
What is the song from,
I don't see them anymore. I gave up on that.
It's You Have to Be Carefully Taught, which is the song from South Pacific, which got cut from the film.
I only know Happy Happy Talk by Captain Sensible.
But it's the song is you have to be taught to hate and fear because it's not natural behavior, and that's the whole song is about that, and it got cut from the film because
This
of course
is so cheerful.
But the other thing about that moment where the doctor in both stories is rejected for what they look like and other people's prejudices, it gives the companions, as you said, Graham, a chance to step up and do what the doctor cannot do.
Thank you for making a point out of what I was saying about Graham getting a new hat, because all I was meaning was Graham's got a new hat.
A new hat.
I
know.
You gave more depth to what I was saying than I actually intended, so I sound smarter now.
But it's a good moment for both of the companions.
Yes.
I agree. Yeah. So, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Oh, I enjoyed it. I I felt uncomfortable with Lindy at first because
yes, I did, but that's my instant reaction to that sort of youth nowadays.
I think. Well, I think we were supposed to have an instant, identification. Oh, an empty-headed influencer or whatever.
The word I was looking for was vapid. Yeah.
And then usually the way these stories go is that they turn out not to be. Right?
They learn. They get better from the Doctor.
Learn. And also, not only that, we go, okay, I jumped to that conclusion about them. Are your eyes okay?
Mm-hmm. Go on.
I jumped to that conclusion about them, but it turns out that they're much deeper and more complicated. With Lindy, what they've done is the nice trick of we feel uncomfortable, and then every reaction she has, or sometimes she has a little victory, or she's running away, and we're like, okay, come on. We're wanting to root for her. But we're also conflicted. So they're playing with the audience, and is she a protagonist? And we naturally want the protagonist to get away. But she's not a nice person. But is that really who she is, or is that her online personality? Does it matter? And then we see Ricky, and that then challenges that whole idea again. Maybe they are people who deserve to be rescued.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have her twist, and we're like, oh, no, she's definitely a villain.
No. We don't like her.
No.
Like you say,
Brian,
and
everything I thought was confirmed. But it was really good, I think, to challenge an audience, and bravo on the actress to play.
Oh, yes.
She
pitched that perfectly. Most of the time, she's doing it to nobody. There's a camera, a green screen, and it's right up close, because I was looking at her eyes, and it looked like she was looking at something close to her face.
Yeah, she probably had the camera on a rig.
It was really, it was so well done. And the actress, like you say, Lilibert, what a horrible job. Well, she had to carry the episode, like you say. But what a horrible job to create somebody horrible, knowing that there are people out there who won't like you because of it. And my hat goes off to this young lady. And I hope she does great things.
And to walk the line between you want to feel like she wants people to feel uncomfortable with her. She wants people to be questioning her, but she also wants people to be like, oh yeah, that's like that. Not a specific, say, Instagram person, but an amalgam of a bunch of different, and all of those people on the screen. Okay, those are like all those social media people. Like, she had to really walk that line so as to keep us uncomfortable. Because if we immediately didn't like her, everybody, the audience would be out.
Well, I felt there was something off, and it got worse and worse as the episode continued, but I did, like I say, I'm an idiot. I'm just an idiot.
I think it did it on purpose. I think it's insidious on purpose.
So, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Oh, yeah, thumbs up. It was a good episode.
The Brian?
Well, I'm with a little bit. I was stuck with thinking that there was going to be some kind of redemption for Lindy in it. But still, after seeing, her world and how they interacted, I was just like, maybe the monsters have the right point. And then everything she did just reinforced that maybe the monsters ain't that bad.
Those slugs were innocent.
Yeah.
It was the dots that were the killers. But
and honestly,
I think the dots must have gone mad, personally.
I think the dots realized, oh my God, we can do better. And send them on their way. But I was stuck in that whole, great, it's going to be another redemption. She's going to learn the true meaning of friendship or whatever. Oh no, she's stupid.
It was the journey we were on.
Going to redeem her. Oh.
there is that point where you go, oh, this show will not redeem a character who has done that.
No, exactly.
Yeah, she's not redeemable. She's going to Slugville. Then she gets the doctor, and they're both looking at her like, we know what you did.
Yes.
We know.
Yeah.
But she's still playing it up like everybody's stupid around her. So there was, for a brief instance, I thought that she realized what she had done and chose to go with the others simply because she felt that they weren't deserving of being saved based on what they had to do to survive.
Or that she doesn't deserve to be saved.
Exactly.
It's an interesting interpretation.
There's that too.
Because she does have that long stare at the doctor. I'm not sure that she's self-reflective enough for that.
No, I don't think she's self-aware enough for any of that to actually.
But it's an interesting idea.
I know the writers are.
Yeah.
So maybe, but it's really 6 in one, half dozen in the other.
I mean, either way, they're all going out to die. Either nature gets them or the slugs do.
Yeah, and then it turns into, an episode of Survivor.
So, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs medium.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Not the greatest, but not the worst.
I'm thinking pastels. So we're going to move on now to Doctor Who and the Rogue. Doctor Who and Ruby, the nth Doctor Who and Ruby are they're at a ball
I like
during
that.
the Regency
Nth
period.
Doctor.
I've given up.
No, it's a good one because it sounds more prestigious. The nth.
Well, in this episode, we realised that I was going to say Richard O'Brien. It's not Richard O'Brien at all, is it? It's
Richard E. Grant.
Thank you. His Doctor, one of them, because he's played the Doctor twice, is now canon.
Yes.
I think at this point they're just adding people in to mess with the fans.
Why
They're
not?
like, who are we going to put in this time?
Yeah.
Count Chocula. Let's
But
put
that
him
was
in.
cool though when they went through it all his faces.
So,
Yeah.
the nth Doctor Who and his plucky girl assistant, Ruby Sunday, are at a Regency ball. And there's some people there who are killing the other people and taking their identities. And there's a man who's a freelance peacekeeping agent who's looking for these people. A Doctor Who sees him, falls in love, and that's basically it.
Sentences him to eternity.
Yeah, eternal hell. I didn't like this one. I thought it was empty. I don't like the Doctor being romantically involved, really. I had the same problem with The Girl in the Fireplace, except The Girl in the Fireplace had better stuff going on around it to keep me amused. This was almost Doctor Who by numbers. In fact, all the monster stuff was just secondary to Doctor Who and Rogue falling in love. And it was a case of it's not really my cup of tea. I'm sorry, it isn't. The Doctor doesn't do that. No matter who they are.
All the time.
No,
Yeah, he kind of does that every chance he gets.
No, not like this. Not like this. I'm
River?
expecting that. Bear with me. She's the only one he's ever allowed close to.
Okay, that is why he walks away at the proposal and says he can't.
Yes. Basically, because if he said yes, River would come down
He
and
can
clout him.
flirt. Well, he can flirt. He can kiss people. He does that all the time. He can have sort of romantic adjacent entanglements. He can travel with people he's attracted to. He cannot commit.
It felt too full on. Like I say, it's same with Girl in the Fireplace, except Girl in the Fireplace was more interesting. This just wasn't.
The other thing is, I think that the context of this being Bridgerton,
which I've never seen.
it matters.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
I'm not a Bridgerton fan.
I'm going to be honest
Um,
with you.
Yes.
That's a failing in the writers. Then you shouldn't make it conditional of watching
No,
something
okay.
else to really get.
It doesn't matter that it's Bridgerton. What it matters is that it's a popular story set in a time period that is essentially a romantic soap opera. And that it has its ups and downs. It has its
sounds
series
terrible.
finales. It could just as well be oh God.
Okay, it's all right. 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 I've got it. Don't worry, please. It just sounds awful. It really sounds awful.
What was the one that was set, the Family Saga one that's set
Oh,
in
the Family of Blood.
No. The history one. Anyway, it'll come to me. Anyway,
Okay.
What the bird characters are doing is essentially what the Doctor and Ruby are doing.
Cosplaying.
Yeah.
Cosplaying, right? They went there to have fun and experience the period. And so did the bird people. The Doctor just does it without killing people and literally wearing their bodies.
And the thing is, these guys know it's a bad thing to do. It's not.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're villains. They're having
yeah,
fun.
they don't
are,
care.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No.
But they are experiencing sort of their own form of television or play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just murderous play. And I think the whole Doctor immediately falling in insta love, which is a trope of the romance novels, on which Bridgerton is based. Insta love is kind of a thing in a lot of those novels. The ups and downs, the proposal, when you kind of thought he was just going to say, with the Doctor say anything, right? And you kind of expect it to be like, I can't, I shouldn't, just something. And instead it's a proposal. And I was sitting there going, wait, what?
It did come out of nowhere.
It does. But remember, what the bird people want at the end is a wedding.
Mm-hmm.
They want a wedding and they want drama.
They want drama. And so, it's also a critique of us as the audience. Would you be the companion or would you be the Doctor? We ask ourselves that all the time. Now, do we go take over their bodies? No, obviously not. But it's a critique of us as the audience, and it was deliberately playing with our emotions using the kind of tropes that these same kinds of stories use.
Which is probably
Season
exactly
finales.
why I haven't. This one I just thought was a complete nothing episode. Because I've got no interest in stuff like that.
However, I'm going to go on a different bent.
Please.
The makeup on the bird people,
It was
that's
good.
Disney money.
Yeah, that was
one
good.
I
makeup.
That was excellent.
There was one I wasn't that impressed with, but okay.
Was it the guy with the long?
Yeah, it looked a little bit.
Yeah, he did. Well, he didn't have any speaking lines.
A little bit like Orphan 55, quite frankly.
He didn't have any speaking lines
He
at
did.
all. Not in bird
I
form.
think he did.
No. And it wasn't until after he killed the.
He killed the padre. He killed the priest.
Killed the padre.
That's
Then he
what
had
I'm saying.
lines.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, and
But up until
pulled
that
ahead.
point, he had 0 lines. But
an
I
empty threat.
loved the special effects. The owl people, and you had all different kinds of owls.
Yes.
That was terrific. I'm a bit upset that with the name of it, I think calling them the Strix would have been a hell of a lot better.
What were they
That's
called?
just me. The Chuldra,
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
something,
Again,
nobody
it's
would've
Russell
gotten.
T Davies' thing of anthropomorphizing an Earth animal.
Yeah, but it's just something nobody got. And then seeing the rogue spaceship.
Yes, there was definitely spaceship envy happening there.
Oh yeah,
And then
yeah.
walking in and going, oh, actually, it's a bit of a mess inside. Never
Yeah.
mind. I'm not so jealous anymore.
I can
Come
tell
see my
you're a
ship.
bachelor.
I like the shot of the TARDIS on the lawn,
Mhm.
slightly in
Oh, yeah.
moonlight, without her signage lit up. just the start box, and I thought, oh, that's a beautiful shot.
Yeah. Well, I like the fact that Rogue is like
The spaceship is
that's
a
a spaceship, and it's a bird,
Yes.
and Disney money.
Now,
Spaceships
I
are
looked at it
spaceships
and
are
I'm like,
spaceships.
that's Disney.
I mean, essentially, he's Captain Jack.
Yes.
Yeah, I was expecting him to be another time agent like Jack.
Yeah.
But then he goes into the TARDIS and he's like, whoa, and the doctor's there like,
Yes, that's when we get, which, quite frankly, it's long overdue. The Doctor turning around and singing, "Come with me."
Oh,
and
it was
you'll
great. I
that
love
was
that.
love
perfect.
of pure imagination. I mean, how many years have we waited for the Doctor to do that?
Mm-hmm. That was
dear.
perfect.
Mm-hmm. But I liked. I couldn't quite I couldn't quite believe that they were going where they were going with the characters, and then was kind of like, oh wait, the Doctor's actually gonna kiss him? What?
Yeah.
And then,
Mr. Wallywinker.
yes.
Yeah.
And then realized what it was doing. It was playing with all the tropes.
Mm-hmm.
It was playing with
all
the
that
audience's
just went
involvement.
completely out of my head because I've got no knowledge of any of that.
That's what it's doing. And it's,
Which is why the
I
younger
think that's-
audiences really
And the
liked
cause of scandal thing.
yes, the cause of scandal thing, the dancing.
I used to
This
be
is
in
a
restoration
doctor who
comedy.
dances. This is a doctor who loves clothes, who loves music, who
This is a
loves.
doctor
Yeah,
who
because
But-
if you notice, he doesn't have one set outfit like every other doctor. He's actually dressing per period.
Mm-hmm. Because he likes clothes and he likes dressing up.
Yeah. As you should. I mean, you go into 17th century France, you look like you're supposed to, right?
I think the other doctors just really can't be bothered. That's,
I don't think they
I
had
mean,
the
the
budget
Inuit-
for the clothes.
Well, no, they didn't. You know, they couldn't even get Janet another outfit. But she's got to be watching these and just.
Well, Janet Fielding. She had several outfits.
Yeah, but
I know that
every
first
time,
series, it was the same bloody
every
one.
time she comes on and watches like the behind the sofa
she'll
things
bitch.
or whatever.
So that or DVD commentary, she keeps on going on about her hair.
Yes. Well, her hair wasn't great. But yes. But I enjoyed this one. I liked that it was for the Doctor's own angst. It was fairly heavy, but the actual problem, although the aliens talk about we're going to go take over the world and we're going to have war and won't that be fun? They don't actually have a plan or an end game or, this isn't the Daleks. They're completely...
They're basically little boys
they're
let
flat
loose
and
in the ant
two-dimensional.
farm.
Yes.
Yes, they really are just monster of the week.
Yeah, they're flat and two-dimensional.
Yeah.
They look amazing, but they're flat.
And I'm fine with that. I think because the previous episode had a complex character. And the previous episode, we spent almost the entire time with just one character. And this one had a nice big,
Nice large cast, nice ensemble.
beautiful costuming.
Susan
I loved how
Twistwatch.
Millie did the dancing.
Susan Twistwatch. She's
Yes.
She's in the portrait.
Yep.
Yes.
There's more on this on Joe Gets It Wrong at the end of this little section.
And I loved how Millie was doing the dancing with the
earrings.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. That was
Battle
a great
mode
idea.
engaged. It's like, yes,
Yes.
this is what they needed.
Yes. And
And the
I
music.
enjoyed that bit.
The music. It was all current popular tunes or modern popular tunes set to orchestra.
Well, a
Yes.
string quartet, I imagine.
Yeah. They had Poker Face. They had a couple
Poker
others.
Face, but I don't know the
tunes.
others.
Lady Gaga.
Yeah, I know Poker Face. I don't know the others.
I think that's another indication that there's something wrong
With the universe.
with the time or the
Yeah.
space.
Do you
or
want to go on to Joe Gets It Wrong now, or? Has anybody got any more to say about Rogue, per se?
The D&D drop.
The D&D drop.
Nice. That was nice. That's where he got his name from. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, did you take your name
then...
from D&D? Roll insight.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice.
Okay, this explains why this thing didn't gel with me. All the tropes are for a completely different audience than me, because I don't follow popular culture as such. So,
and I do think that if you are a fan of...
That explains that, then.
Big costume, romantic stories, and not just, say, Bridgerton and those sort of not gothic, that's the wrong word.
Victorian.
That's a whole different genre.
They're later than Victorian. They're more like Edwardian, Georgian, there's something like that. But that's not the point.
Oh, I know which one you mean. The more modern one, the Crawley family.
That's the one.
Yeah.
I'd never watched it. The only one of those I've ever watched is Upstairs, Downstairs, because it's fucking brilliant.
Yes.
Oh, I can't remember the name of it myself. I don't care.
But you know which one I mean. The one with the Crawley family. Yes.
Yeah.
Which my brain keeps wanting to say Gosford Park, but that's not. That's a whole other...
That's a whole different one.
Yes.
So that's all good then.
Yes. I think if you are more experienced with the tropes and the storytelling of those kinds of stories, this pays off better. And I think, as you said, if you're less connected to those forms of popular
I was
culture,
left out on this one.
This one is going to feel more hollow. I
was left out. I didn't know the tropes. I didn't realise that's what they were following. So I just thought, this is going a bit quick. What? So, yeah. All right. No,
Also,
at least that's explained to me. That explains why I didn't like it. I just thought, this is ridiculous. No. All right. You've got an electronic chicken clucking. So, thumbs up or thumbs down for Doctor Who and the Rogue?
Wasn't me. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that one a lot. That's one that I might rewatch. I haven't rewatched any of the season yet because I wanna get to the end and find out what's going on before I go back and.
No, quite right too.
So you can see where it lines
up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I know Russell. I trust Russell to line stuff up. Did not trust Chibnall to do it, but I trust, and that was just because I had been disappointed too many times with his writing. But I trust Russell to do it.
I love the little qualification there. It was his writing that disappointed me.
Yes. The problem is when Dave heard Chibnall was running the show.
Oh, God, I don't want to know. Look, I know we swear on this show, but there's a limit.
Say he brought his 80s Doctor Who fandom prejudices with him.
Mm-hmm.
And that may have perhaps influenced the vocabulary with which he expressed himself.
Yes, I feel you could be right there. Brian, thumbs up or down?
I did not go in with those prejudices.
I'm going thumbs up.
That's interesting. You see, we have a difference of opinion on both of them.
I like owls.
It's good. You like wolves, do you? That's all right.
I like owls.
Do you know, the story is set at night. Maybe that's why it was owls.
Interesting. Yeah.
So, we now move on to Joe Gets It Wrong, which is a hangover from the old audio podcast days with my original Plucky Girl assistant, Jo, where she used to try and predict what was going to happen in Ashes to Ashes and always got it wrong. And I thought, well, let's bring this back and we can do this for Doctor Who.
That's okay. I'm with her. I hated Ashes to Ashes.
You didn't watch it?
No, I saw a little bit of it. Remember, we were talking about doing that Patreon where you torture Brian?
Yeah, no. Gotta be aware. Maybe we could do that for our contribution to the charity thing, torturing Brian. We could look at some Fallout again, if you like. The Prisoner episode.
Threads.
I made him sit through Threads.
Oh.
Motherfucker.
That's far too grim. There's no need for that.
You're right. I'm with her. There is no need for that. We do not need to look at it again.
So,
but now that I've suffered, everyone must suffer. So
it has been revealed that Susan Twist's character is Susan Triad.
When was that revealed?
It's doing the rounds. Triad is a thing that's been seeded on modern day Earth. Typical sort of thing, a bit like the Atmos were in Partners in Crime, and then that came back in the Sontaran thing.
There was a technology that I can't remember the name of, but in the Ruby's by herself in the future episode on like the computers and things, there was a something technology. I don't remember what it was. It may have been Triad. Okay. I clocked it at the time and went, oh, that's a Russell T Davies thing to do, and then immediately forgot it.
So the initial obviously is S, Susan. S Triad. Anybody want to try on the anagram on that one?
No, that's TARDIS.
Yeah.
So that's a thought. Now then, the question is, what about the one who waits, the boss?
Yeah,
Who is this Susan Twist person?
Rogue mentioned having a new boss.
He did.
I don't
lots
know.
of paperwork.
I think I'd switched off by then. I'd switched off.
Lots of paperwork.
So, I don't know. Thoughts, please, for the finale, the two-part finale. What do you think all this means?
Ruby is the alpha and the omega.
Let's call it.
She begins and ends herself.
She's a closed loop. I don't think anybody's trying to communicate with them through like the Susan character or something. It's not like reaching out and Susan's turning up to try and communicate, because in several of these, she's a picture on the wall.
I will be honest with you. I don't want it to be Susan because it's too fucking obvious. Susan Twist is the name of the actress. What do we get at the song? At the end,
there's always a twist
at the end. I'm sorry, it's too obvious. I want them to do something different.
I've heard a lot of people talking or speculating about them bringing back some character, from the way back when, and I don't think that that's what's happening. No, I really don't.
It's not Omega.
It's a shame because I always thought that was the one I'm banking on was Omega. It could be Sutek, but it might.
Omega doesn't have the power for it. Omega is powerful in his little pocket dimension.
He can make antimatter chickens.
In his pocket dimension.
Because he wanted eggs for breakfast.
In the real world. Well, the real world. So, God in one world.
Everything's been fucked up ever since a stupid vain idiot put a line of salt down at the edge of the universe. Things weaken.
And somebody said online, and I'm entirely, I have not checked. They said that there was a picture of Susan Twist in that episode.
Yes, as some sort of creature, but it's not a creature I recognize.
No, me either. But the fact that she goes that far back, I think we're all right to connect it to that.
To what?
Yeah.
To that line of salt.
Oh, right, yes.
To that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Being at the edge of the universe and letting something in, or being on the edge of the universe. And we know that those creatures can alter matter. Who knows that there might not be a creature who could alter reality?
That's why I think they're in a parallel timeline.
Oh yeah, like we said, nothing makes sense now. It doesn't have to make sense. People are playing with the Doctor.
Yeah.
Yes. I do think that there's some kind of, like you said, alternate reality.
To a certain extent, they could have even run Rogue. For it all to happen so quickly, like you say, like an episode of Bridgerton, they could have just run it like that.
They could have put him directly in the Doctor's path to get the Doctor off, either on or off.
Making all the tropes happen.
Yes,
that could be somebody saying, "Oh, do that." Part of me.
I've done it to you guys in the campaign.
Have you?
putting things in your way deliberately and making things happen.
We will talk about the RPG. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten.
I'm also thinking, and I don't think it's this, but the thought kind of occurred to me. It could almost be like this being of power changing channels.
Okay.
Okay, all
like
right,
they're
I see
in
that.
different genres. They're in a sci-fi genre, they're in a romance genre, they're in a
So
costume.
Susan Twist is the viewer.
Maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Easy.
I think it's weak. I don't think there's enough there, but
It's something, yeah.
there's definitely been a lot of playing of breaking the fourth wall, of the Doctor acting like he knows he's being watched,
Yep.
Uh-huh.
of never speaking directly to, but there's been a lot of
Downton Abbey.
That's it. Thank you.
That's all right.
That's it.
Sorry, it just bang.
That's well done.
Don't do this to me.
That was taking up the space in your brain. That was the difference between a sugar cone and a waffle cone. That's what was in there. There's been a lot of talking to people through screens or interacting through screens, and it could just be a trope of sci-fi in 2024 because there's a lot of that in general. Mm-hmm. But there's been a lot of that. I don't know, but it's interesting.
It is, and in 2 weeks' time, we'll have the answers. Well, some of them.
I did like on the preview. They were like, she's been showing up. Da, da, da. I was like, we're gonna get answers.
No, we're not.
We may
He's
not.
lying.
We might get answers on the Susan Twist thing, but there's other stuff. I think he's going to keep. I don't know. I get the feeling not everything's.
What's
going
the
to be
number one rule of Doctor Who?
Russell T Davies
Russell
lies.
lies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Russell lies.
Well, sorry,
Yeah.
the exec lies because Moffat used to lie all the right. That was rule 1. Moffat lies.
That's true.
Yes.
I was talking. I can't remember what I was saying. Yeah, I don't know why. I get the feeling not all of the threads are going to be tied up this year because it's only an 8-part season for a start. I think, unlike his first run, where in the 12th episode of Eccleston he dropped the name Torchwood for the first time, and then you had Vote Saxon and whatever. I think this time he's going to actually let it trickle out to be a more over-encompassing arc rather than just done and dusted during one series. There will be answers to some of it, but there's going to be more than one mystery, I think.
That would make sense. And it makes sense on streaming. It also makes sense that they are so far ahead in the filming.
Yeah, they filmed season 2, I think.
Yeah. So it makes sense to have unlike, old Doctor Who, where they were going.
They were finishing it off just before broadcast.
We need a script, guys, and we film in a week.
Yes.
We film it before somebody get us a script.
You've got one weekend. Here's whiskey.
Blink.
Here's coffee. Sit down there, Douglas. You sit down there, Graham. Write us City of Death. And they did.
Yes.
Apparently for Blink, that's what they did. Moffat got word that no, we can't do that with budget. Write something else, and he's in the car writing it down.
Oh goodness me!
Sense. I do think sometimes writers come up with the best stuff that way. When you say, "Look, you have no money and no time, go." You have £3 and that fabric, and that's it. But I think it makes sense to have an ongoing mystery,
especially when the seasons are so short
solved.
As well.
Yes.
Plus, it's also because the streaming part of it is rather important. It'll bring people back for the next season.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've got 2 viewers.
Hey.
Oh my.
And I don't know who the other one is. Hello, if you're watching this on Twitch, could you just say hello in chat, please, to let us know you're real? That just sounds so pathetic.
Well, occasionally we are.
They're there. They're
Say
there.
bye-bye.
They're there.
There we are, Odd Brother. Hello, Odd Brother. Welcome to the Flashing Blade. Oh, how lovely. I think you're a new person. Are you a new person? No, it hasn't said this is your first thing. So you might have been here before. I'm sorry, but it's basically three friends talking bollocks about Doctor Who.
We're good.
We're very good at talking bollocks. Well rehearsed, I think. I've had 17 years of talking bollocks.
Only 17.
That's how long ago
You
the
realize
Staggering
we've been
Stories
going on
podcast.
2 hours about just these 2 episodes, right?
Yeah.
Well, and on the
Trust
on
me, the Sapphire
counting,
and Steel one is not going to be long.
on the counting, we're at 5 interruptions.
Yes. You had to mention it. We were doing so well.
We were doing well at 5.
Haven't got the accent, have you?
I could do it.
Go on.
I just don't want to get that. You've heard me do the radio announcer. I could do.
No, not that one. We want the count. Five.
Yes.
Five interruptions.
Yes, we will all do our count impression.
I've never seen Sesame Street when I was a kid. It's a thing I've seen clips of as an adult, but that's it.
Oh,
should-
Remember,
we'll
I'm from a
rewatch it.
tiny
It's on
little.
Disney.
Remember, I'm from a tiny little island. We didn't have things
It's
like
on
daytime
Disney. You
TV.
should go rewatch it. You'll learn a lot.
Okay, fair enough. So basically, Odd Brother is in fact a quantum viewer.
Okay.
He is both watching and not watching. Or sorry, he is both real and unreal at the same time. Schrodinger's viewer, essentially,
Is he Omega?
or Alpha.
Ooh.
Anyway,
Anyway,
yeah, 2 weeks' time we will find out the answers to some of these things. Hopefully, otherwise I'm going to be doing my fucking nutting. Yeah, and that was Doctor Who. Wow. Now we're not going to look at the Tomorrow People because I didn't think we were doing the Tomorrow People because I thought 2 episodes of Doctor Who and that and as we're nearly at 2 hours already. Maybe I did the right thing after all. We will come back to it, Brian, I promise you. All right?
yep, I believe you.
Yeah, all right.
No
I
problem.
do want to say, completely unrelated to the specific episode.
Oh, sorry,
of
it's anniversary of Rick's death, so I can do this.
Yep.
I did not realize until I was looking at sort of the behind the scenes thing on the DVD, which is adorably terrible. It's basically just a slideshow.
Oh, hang on, we're talking about
anyway,
the Tomorrow People.
Yes.
Ah, right. Okay.
Is that it? I knew it was created by Roger Price, and that name kept clicking around in my head, going, "I know him. I know what I'm from. Why do I?" He was also the producer of You Can't Do That on Television.
Yeah.
And I had never put the two together because they're such vastly different shows, and it's Canadian.
There
But
are a lot of
I looked
links
up his name and
between Canadian television and British television, especially back in the 60s.
Well, the thing that
70s.
unites these two is they were both on Nickelodeon. And You Can't Do That on Television was a chaotic, anarchic
He did the same in
comedy
Britain.
show.
Yeah,
Called
kids
You-
sketch comedy show.
You Must Be Joking. And also Pauline's Quirks, after one of the kids from stage school called Pauline Quirk. And they were as bad as you imagine.
So,
frankly.
Auntie, I have a question for you.
Yes, my love.
What 90s pop singer used to be on You Can't Do That on Television?
A 90s pop singer, huh? You can't do that on television. Early or mid or late 90s?
Mid to late.
Miley Cyrus.
Canadian.
Canadian.
Celine Dion?
Younger than Celine.
Oh dear.
I'm waiting for her to say the 3 words.
I don't know.
Ah, slime. Anyway, it's Alanis Morissette.
Right, okay, good.
They slimed people on You Can't Do That on
Every
Television.
time you
if
say the 3
said, I don't
words,
know.
you get hit with slime.
Hence
And if
the
you say
whole
water,
Nickelodeon
you
green
get hit with
slime
water.
thing. Yes.
Every time.
You are so fucking American, the two of you. You really are.
Watch
This
the
is why
show.
I
It's
complain.
hilarious.
This is why I complain.
I did go back and watch some of it, like a little YouTube stuff, and I was like, oh, I remember this to my bone. And I was really young when I watched it. I was like,
was it good coming back to it, or was it a case of, this hasn't aged?
I was like, oh, this is not good.
Like Barf's Burgers.
But at the time, thought it was hysterical. And dangerous comedy. You know, you feel like you're doing something really naughty watching it.
Yeah.
The young ones, going back to Rick.
Yes, it's that sort of vibe. When you watch it and you go back and watch it, and some of the stuff still hits and still works,
the
but
adults
a lot of it
don't
doesn't.
really approve.
Oh yeah, I'm sure
yeah.
my mother did.
The
was not
adults
in the room.
look at it like, what the hell is on our TV?
Yeah.
But I like watching the kids' faces in it because it was largely a cast of young adults again, or not
Sorry,
even young
Roger
adults,
Roger
like,
Price doing that? No, surely not.
Disco close.
Yes.
Unnatural preoccupation.
Yes. All right, we'll talk about the Roman outfits next time.
Yeah. We're going there.
The Roman underpants.
This is, I better explain to our viewer. This is a 1970s British TV show called The Tomorrow People, which was written by a guy called Roger Price. They're now saying it's the same guy who wrote this
created
thing.
And do that on television.
Yeah, and it was it was a good series for the first 4 years, and the trouble is he did like putting up in young boys in skimpy clothing. Which is, I mean, nothing has ever been said, but everyone's going.
It's just dubious behavior, is all.
Yeah.
The thing is,
it was probably harmless, but it's still a little sketch.
Those are the kind of decisions that go through 8 or 9 people before they're actually okayed.
No, they're not. This is the 70s. It's ITV. Trust me, it would have been on Roger's say-so.
It doesn't have that big of a staff.
Okay. But you'd be like, okay,
you need to start reading some behind-the-scenes stuff about Doctor Who. You'll learn about British television history. You're giving me the look a little bit.
No.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Just so we're clear.
All right, so Sapphire and Steel.
Oh, yes. Right, yes.
I did actually listen this time.
Right, now, again, to explain to our...
And listen to a podcast we should be doing.
Go away. God, do I feel rejected right now? Okay, Sapphire and Steel was a British science fiction, scary science fiction show round about the late 70s, early 1980s. There were only ever 6 stories, and what we've been doing is listening to audio adventures by a company called Big Finish, which are official audio adventures, and it's essentially continuing the story, sort of. This is not going to be a long review, because as I discovered last time round, these are really difficult to review.
Because, like the original stories, they're very atmospheric.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is about building the atmosphere and building the mystery.
So,
that does make it, they're not plot heavy.
No. So, well, basically, Sapphire and Steel took padding they turned it into an art form. I mean, you could have minutes with nobody saying anything, but the tension would just rise. And it was, anyway, so the story for this one, no trigger warnings on this one, thankfully, but there's going to be next time. They've arrived in London in the present day, whatever that is, because the sound of the present day, I wonder if present day they're sticking to the 1980s then, because the police car sound, the nino, 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 we don't have that anymore. We got the American woo.
Yes.
I'm 57 years old.
Well, and the police car gives them an excuse to explain the Doppler effect.
Well, yeah, it does. Anyway,
We
are not going to get into depth on this because we will lose ourselves down a rabbit hole, I'm afraid. Basically, an awful lot of shit's happened to London over the years, and they're trying to put together all the artifacts from history. Not museum stuff per se, but documents and archive records and stuff like that, and they're trying to bring them all
Sapphire
together.
and Steel aren't trying to put it together.
No. It's
corporation company thing.
It's the local count. Would it have been the Greater London Council? May well have been.
No, they specifically say it's not the council, but it's a company that's come into.
Now, of course, Sapphire and Steel, they're looking for a trigger for this. Time is breaking in as it's going to use this. They are surrounded by possible triggers. Where the hell do they start looking?
And it is the kind of place that you would want to be. You would want to, if you like history, if you like.
Oh yeah.
I'd love to go in there, and everything you touched would be interesting.
One of the guys there is being haunted
by creepy kids.
A little girl kid.
Why is it always creepy kids?
Don't know why. With Sapphire and Steel, and why is it always
creepy little girls and nursery rhymes?
Nursery rhymes. That's what I was looking for. Because this one's all about ring the rosies, which means yes, Steel's going to catch the plague.
Yes. Interestingly, the American version is Ring Around the Rosie, a pocket full of posies, ashes, ashes, we all fall down.
How fascinating. So it's the same rhyme, but it's changed now. From which direction?
That's because we didn't have the Black Death over here.
The Black Death was different to the plague. Black Death was earlier.
It's, I've known this, that there was a difference.
You are free to correct me on that, Brian, because I'm having to really grasp at my English
There are
history.
many plagues.
Yes,
Googling
on your house,
of Ring
no
Around
doubt.
the Rosies.
Anyway, this guy's being haunted. Then he vanishes. And there's a young lady there, and she's got some of the original wax cylinders for the very, very first recordings of sound and the like. And she's digitizing them, basically. She's had to work really hard to come up with a process to actually get the sound from this cylinder digitized. There's going to be wiring. Let's put it that way.
It really was. The episode was a tribute to archivists' work.
Yes.
Interesting.
And she plays one of them. And underneath it, you can hear Sapphire talking. But this thing's from the beginning of the century. What the fuck's going on here? That's when things start to go a little bit bonkers. Silver turns up, still played by David Collins.
I like Silver.
Played by David Collins, still flirting ridiculously with Sapphire, and still, quite frankly, being very charming. The normal one, the one who drinks tea. Once again, this is really good, but I couldn't review it except to say, listen to it. But you might be better than me at this.
Ring Around the Rosies?
Yes, please.
Yes, go ahead.
The origin of the song is unknown.
Okay.
There is no evidence for the popular 20th century interpretation which relates it to the Great Plague or earlier outbreaks of bubonic plague in England.
Are you telling me, Brian, that
everything you know is a lie?
It's fake news, Brian!
Everything you know is a lie.
God, they started lying about the plague.
Did it.
They've started lying about the plague. God, we're up to 4 viewers. Why are we
Aliens
up to 4
wrote
viewers?
it. I'm just saying, aliens.
Hang on.
It's all aliens.
Hang on. No. I'm not having this. 4 viewers.
Wait. Aliens.
What the hell?
You need to do this with your hair.
Yeah, I'm trying to find who these people are, and I don't know, because if they're real, they're lost in the bots. Say hello to the bots whilst you're there, by the way. They
Hello, Bob.
Cloud.
So please, a little bit. Can you bring some sense to this?
Well, I think one of the
it all
things
makes
that
sense, but we can't. It's hard to
I'm not sure
elucidate
it entirely does. Because they interweave the bubonic plague thing that ties with the nursery rhyme. into the guy who made the wax cylinders and took pictures of people who were in Bedlam.
Which
Okay.
is an
And,
insane asylum, for those that don't know.
And that's all interwoven with the entity that is doing this deliberately, who is also impersonating a guy. And it.
Her brain's starting to hurt.
Here's the thing. I think it's excellent at building atmosphere.
It
and
is.
the problem with building atmosphere is that then you have to explain things. Or, which I think Sapphire and Steel more often choose, is not explain things. And so they explain some of it, and you're like, oh, okay. That doesn't actually make any sense.
We still don't
Why?
know how they got out of the cafe.
Yeah.
I
was hoping this was going to fill it in.
I'm not worried
It
about
might
the cafe.
do yet. It might do yet. We're only 3 stories into the first box set. So.
Yeah, but except we know all how Big Finish works. All of this is set between one blink and the next.
Well, this is a new Sapphire and Steel. They're not meant to be the Joanna Lumley, David McCallum one.
Are they going to rescue
actually
the originals?
They are different, as we will find out later.
Will they rescue the originals?
I don't know.
I
don't know.
There were some
Couldn't
nice
tell.
elements of showing us a time loop and doing that in audio, which is a good creative thing to do, and also showing it when the time loop breaks and what that sounds like.
I love the fact
which
I've
again-
now got a clear copy of the Sapphire and Steel music.
I do think and maybe the problem is me. That's
I
also
stole
possible.
a cup from my
Your Hyundai people.
the Hyundai people. Yeah, I'm gonna steal another one when I go pick the car up.
I'm not sure that I understand the villain's motivation.
Yes,
Or
I'll give you that.
entirely why they're choosing to do things in the way that they're doing them. I liked the idea that, which is the end of, I think, the 3rd episode or something, when they realize, oh, we've duplicated the effects of the plague. We've locked ourselves in.
Yeah, the same setting, they just duplicated it. Exactly what
That
happened,
we've
yeah.
created this problem and
Yeah.
it's of our own making. That was good. But there are elements of it that I'm like,
I do wonder if they're all going to be 6 episodes, because that's a long time to have something that complex, can we say? And to have to keep concentrating on it. You know, you could miss stuff towards the end because you've been listening to it for, God knows how long.
well, I did take this one in chunks, but I did listen to it all in one day. I just listened to it throughout the day as I was doing different things. And
Sorry, Digger.
I like the setup. I like the association with the Black Death. I like there's just a lot going on. And of course, the idea of they're in central London, they're in a repository of a lot going on. And that this is kind of a nightmare for them, particularly Sapphire, because everything's happening all at once and it's hard to there was a mention of right at the beginning that 2 people were killed in the Blitz and they were holding hands, and then that never comes up again. And I thought the fact that they said something specific like that, I thought it would come up with the child and the nursery
Sapphire
rhyme.
doing her,
Being
sort of-
Sapphire.
Sapphire being Sapphire.
And being
But Dan, we've
Britishly
lost
depressing for
2
no reason.
viewers. I don't think they ever existed.
Perhaps we are in fact in an episode of Sapphire and Steel.
Maybe we don't exist.
You're telling me time's trying to break through.
Yeah.
Because I have to admit, I say exactly the same thing at the beginning of every single fucking show.
Maybe we're paradoxing out of reality.
You did have 5 interruptions to your time stream today.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. So, did you enjoy it? That's
I
the bottom
did.
line here.
I did enjoy it. I was by the 6th episode a little bit get on with it already.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I understand it being, you know, slow 70s atmospheric. But I think that I think it's the problem with a lot of Sapphire and Steel. But it's the build for
at least
4
on
episodes.
TV.
Try and solve it with 2.
The thing with TV is the tension. You have the visuals as well. In this, you don't really. The sound designer is working so hard to cover it.
Oh, yes.
You know, to build that tension and not let your concentration drift off. You know, there's an awful lot of hard work gone into the sound design of these.
And they do. They sound great. I do think they could do to be an episode or 2 shorter. With a little less build-up and a little more resolution.
We'll be looking at the next Sapphire and Steel story. That was hard to say. I can't remember what it's called, and I haven't got it in front of me. But the next one is the 4th story in the box set, of the first box set. This one comes with trigger warnings. So a little bit, check your trigger warnings first.
Yes, I will.
Okay. And I'll let people know when we come to review it in the next show that there are trigger warnings here.
Oh dear.
I know. May as well play safe. Don't want to hurt anybody. Are you chewing, boy?
Yep.
Spit it out. Saying nothing. Saying nothing at all. It's okay. So the next show will be the last 2 episodes of Doctor Who, and the next Sapphire and Steel story. I can't. So hard to say. But we haven't discussed the RPG. When is the RPG, Jesus. Brian?
You mean our ongoing campaign on Thaco Gaming over on YouTube and Twitch?
Yeah, that one.
Tales of the Astral Sea?
Yeah.
Where last we left off, our precarious band, they were about to face off against a dragon and a Githyanki warrior.
Yeah. Now, I've been giving this some thought.
Oh, dear.
Where you got out of jail by singing a melody that could only summon an elder god with tentacles.
Sadly for them, I actually roleplayed that.
You were banned by the UN from doing that. And
I
yet you
know.
Still did it.
That's all right. I've got power of veto.
You're a bad person, and you should feel bad about it.
I'm sorry.
Geneva suggestions is what you're saying?
Mm-hmm. Right. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, the RPG. Yeah, Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, it's the first time I've come across...
I know.
Secondly, I suspect I'm a lot more inexperienced than this one. Thirdly, I think I'm in for a fight of my life. I'm
going to kill her.
I have started to come up with tactics.
Let me know how those work out for
you. Yeah, I'll try that. Yeah.
Do you know more of tactics than a novice in a nunnery?
Okay, so here's the thing, viewers.
What?
We're playing Savage Rifts. And in Savage Rifts, you can play as a dragon.
No, I want to hear about the nuns.
Oh, it's a line from Modern Major General.
Righty-ho.
Yes.
Now I want to hear about...
In Savage Rifts, you can play as a dragon hatchling. They are basically tanks. So in every encounter, I have to balance against something that's nigh on invulnerable.
Hello.
Okay?
You got fed up with that,
the players have gotten a little cocky about encounters.
No, we haven't. We've just started. We've started to work together. That's your problem.
We got a little cocky.
We've got teamwork now.
They really haven't faced the threat of, say, another dragon. Yeah. They will.
I know I'm
Dragons again?
I hope I don't die because I'm very fond of this particular character. I mean, most of the last session I spent as a penguin and saying kvak. And I'm actually falling in love with that. So that might be a default position for me at some stage, and I've worked out the voice for it. All I'm going to say, Lilibet, Daffy.
Ah. Well, see, I maintain that penguins go quack, quack, quack because that's what they do in the Muppets.
Somebody just sent a thing, but I can't see. It's Trevor Dudbridge. Whoever you are, sir, we salute you. Thank you very much for your subscription.
Yay, thank you.
Brian, there are real people out there. I'm scared.
There are real people watching us.
Why are we the ones who are scared? Go on, please carry on.
Yeah, so you're going to be facing a red dragon because Githyanki, and a Githyanki warrior of indeterminate power and ability. And I could tell you the exact stats of her, and you'd forget by Saturday. But they'll be
I would.
coming in Saturday on Thaco Gaming, YouTube, and Twitch channel.
Yeah, it'll be a live show on Saturday evening at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
And 8 p.m.
8
UK
time.
We've got, like I say, it's Foundry, so we've got maps and everything else like that. You're not just looking at heads like this. There's all sorts of things you can look at. It's quite entertaining.
And pretty soon we'll be coming up with a change to Foundry that I'm hoping will go well.
Yes, because we haven't had any problems at all, have we? You haven't
No.
got incredibly pissed off with it, have you?
I only get pissed off that I don't have content right away. So I go out and I make
You don't
the
like
content.
it when it doesn't work, though. You get grumpy.
I do get a little grumpy sometimes when it doesn't work after they say, "Oh, it'll work now." But
Are you insinuating that computer
Famous
people
words.
can
It
lie?
should work now.
yeah, that is IT's ongoing slogan. It should work.
Yeah.
The
Did
check's
you
in
turn
the
it off
post.
and on again?
Mm-hmm.
I
And
promise
it should work now.
So we will be experimenting relatively soon.
I don't want to die. I want to stay as a penguin for a while, for personal reasons. The penguin, now we're not actually in the middle of the game. I'm going to ask you. When I said to you, you choose what bird I'm going to be, because I couldn't think of one, and you suggested penguin, did you deliberately go for Frobisher?
No, I went directly for Pen from Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Okay, I was thinking Frobisher because that's who my character's named after, Tarklu.
Yeah.
And Frobisher spent most of their time as a penguin, and he even changed to an emperor penguin. And I thought, I've seen patterns in things that weren't there again, haven't I?
Remember, when you leave things open-ended for the GM, prepare for pain.
Kvak.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can tell me where I got that from, I'll be impressed. Okay. Yeah, where are you at in the next 2 weeks, a little bit?
I'm on summer vacation.
Ooh.
So I'm cleaning and organizing the house. Did wild and crazy things like move the furniture and vacuumed behind it yesterday.
Dear God, woman, is there no stopping you?
I know. Cleaned out a closet.
You've done the unheard of.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
I've moved furniture and
Did you
vacuumed
find all of
before.
Rosie's toys?
Well, I did discover that she's been playing with a toy that I didn't know she was playing with.
Did you find Dave's toys, more importantly?
The apartment
He
is
used to
full
play
of
with them.
Dave's toys.
Yeah, it was the only way he could keep him from going out and punching an alligator.
Oh, give me 1 second. I can show you.
As I look over to my right at my toys.
Yeah, I got Daleks and police boxes everywhere here.
I got Transformers.
Don't think my cleaner understands it, but
They're more
she's
than meets
brilliant.
the eye.
Monica, we love you.
Oh,
Little scalar Godzilla that he's
Again,
supposed to hang off bones.
I'm 56, nearly 57.
Zum.
And Godzuki.
There
Right.
are Godzilla around the house.
Nothing wrong with that.
So yes.
All
In
hail the
fact,
kaiju.
I think I gave what? I gave Adam one, and I gave Tim one.
You did, yes.
Because bless him, Tim had a nightmare journey.
Yeah. I'm starting to wonder if it's actually Tim, because when we took him up to Hooverville last year, it took us 7 hours to drive up there instead of 3.5.
And also, he's been, God bless him, he went back to the beginning of Ark in Space and has been listening every Sunday
I know.
in order.
Aw.
Sweet.
Which is adorable and so kind. But yes,
I
so
would
there's still
actually
Godzilla.
consider that Stockholm syndrome, but carry on. I'm sorry.
yes.
I've said before, I wasn't nice to him when he was alive. Fucked if I'm going to be nice about him now he's dead.
So there's I've been cleaning and organizing, and then at some point toward the end of June, it's my dad's birthday, and so I'll probably go up to Tallahassee for a bit and
Watch
celebrate
out.
with him.
Just keep an eye on the weather, yeah? It's
Well,
not-
yeah,
it's
they've had
not-
some exciting weather there.
some
haven't
interesting weather, yes. Very interesting.
they? So far,
Wait for the heat dome to move across.
well, I mean, it's been well over 100 here.
Yeah, but you're in another dimension called Florida.
Yes.
Or hell. I haven't decided which is which.
Yes.
6 of
I
one,
don't think they're-
half a dozen of the other.
Yeah.
A little bit of both.
But they have, like, my parents have a full house generator, and they're prepared for storms.
Bless them.
So it's
Do they have a storm cellar?
Nobody has a cellar.
Nobody has a storm cellar anymore.
Well, you can't dig cellars in Florida. You hit water.
What happens if you have a tornado?
You go into an interior room in your home with no windows.
What if it's a really powerful tornado, though, which scour
you go into here.
You
I
go into your
have the perfect
interior
plan.
room with no windows.
So you
However,
die.
a lot of our stuff
It's like
is built
assuming the crash
One at a
position.
time,
You place
please.
your head between your knees,
Yes.
and you kiss your ass goodbye.
Righty-ho. Okay.
a lot of our buildings, although not so much in that area, but in Central and South, a lot of buildings are built with concrete.
Yeah, poured concrete
So
around steel.
a lot of that is, especially once you get into the interior of the building, it's likely to be concrete.
Good. Good.
But the house I grew up with, all concrete block and concrete roof as well, actually.
Sensible.
But so, like, down here, when we do occasionally have tornado warnings, I have a downstairs interior bathroom that has a whole concrete wall.
That's exactly what you need, because also it's got all the pipe work in there, which will add extra solidity to it. Do you have a bike helmet?
No, I don't have a bike.
You need a bike helmet. It's a safety helmet.
If
something comes like that,
ceiling came down on me, I'd be a goner, because there's a second story.
Okay.
If you see the guy from the Weather Channel show up in your neighborhood,
Oh,
just
he does
assume
that on
it's
a
over.
regular basis.
Yeah, it's over.
To be
It's
fair,
just gonna. You're done.
I grew up in South
It's also,
Florida.
I should point out, it is going to be an interesting hurricane season this year.
Yes,
because of
this
the
is
heat.
what they have said. It's been really hot already, and we have not, although they're predicting a lot of rain this week, we have not had, our rainy season has not properly started yet.
2 hours.
So it's
2 hours and 20 minutes in, and we've resorted to talking about the weather.
Yes, but it isn't just, oh, it's nice and sunny and cloudy. It's like, you know,
It's
may
hot,
kill you.
oppressive, and you burst into flames. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't burst into flames in Florida because the humidity is too high. You
Keeps
just,
down the smoldering.
yeah, you just melt.
Guys, we're going to
Yes?
call it quits there, because I've frozen again. Whilst people...
Six!
Whilst people can still hear you, do you want to say your goodbyes? Because we'll be back in 2 weeks. Go on.
Buddy,
Goodbye, everyone.
Yeah, sorry, folks. Discord hates me. I can't even play the closing theme. Bollocks. Oh well. Do you want me to sing it? Oh no, you still won't hear it. We're gonna have to end the stream. Goodbye, everybody. I'm terribly sorry for the streamers interrupt us. See you in a fortnight.